Hello, and thank you for tuning into this Engerati studio interview at Asia Utility Week 2016. My name is Denise, and joining me is Alex Ouimet-Storrs, and you're a partner at Cleantech at Truffle Capital.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Right, during this session, we're going to really be focusing on the investment potential in Asia's energy sector.
Yep.
Can you just give us a little bit of an overview on how you see that currently? What is your view of that?
Well, we essentially have a primarily European view. So our view on Asia is, I'd say, gaining maturity as the days go by. But what we see is that there's kind of different maturities in the market. So we see kind of Japan being a very advanced market in terms of technology. Meanwhile, there's some other countries that are catching up. So there's a great opportunity for startups that want to get into these kind of more developing markets that have very fast growth. We feel that in things like smart grids, demand response, new hardware, we can test them a lot easier in Asia. So we're looking for different partners here who can help our portfolio companies in Europe deploy technologies in Asia.
Fantastic.
And vice versa.
Okay. IT disruptive tech and clean tech, that included as well. Are there any specific markets that you're wanting to focus in, on that in this particular region?
So I think there's a need for innovative hardware, especially on the utility side.
Yeah.
So whether it be through transformation of electricity, energy conversion, integration of renewables. I know that China and other Asian countries are really pushing hard on renewables, so there's going to be a tension on the grid. So we feel that there's some hardware and software applications that can be used. For example, we're looking at predictive maintenance. We're looking at different big data technologies as well for the energy sector. And we feel here there's such a mass of people and there's just a lot of users here that we feel that our products can be pushed a lot easier in Asia than in Europe.
Okay. But how does your company identify promising investments?
Well, we're not a Me Too company, so there's a lot of funds that just kind of are sheep and they follow the herd. We're different that way. We try to predict trends a lot, kind of 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years ahead of time. So we jumped into the IoT wave about 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, with a company that was basically the father of LoRa, which is a wireless technology that's currently being deployed all over the world. So how we identify them is we look at technologies that are innovative, but also have a lot of intellectual property protecting the technology, because we really want to have strong barriers of entry early on. We invest. Yeah. So that's basically what we look for.
Okay, all right. In your opinion, startups and, obviously this energy sector, and it doesn't matter where about it is in the world, needs innovation right now. That is very clear. What challenges do you think startups and innovators face within this region in particular?
Well, I think that there's a certain conservatism here, that a lot of we see utilities and also distribution operators. They're very conservative, they're very risk adverse, so it's kind of penetrating that kind of hurdle, which is very hard for the company, so they really have to have disruptive technologies to do that.
And are those challenges, would you say that some of them are quite similar to those that are experienced in the US or Europe, or are there some really unique ones, challenges that this particular region faces when it comes to embracing innovation?
Well, in terms of, we're specialists in grids, so we notice that the grids in Europe and in the US are a bit more mature. So we feel that there's actually, the Asian countries can leap ahead of everybody very quickly by adopting these technologies. So we feel that that's something that we can really capitalize on.
Okay, great. All right. Does your assistance help innovators enter the energy sector more easily?
Yeah, so we have a vast network of industrial companies, so it can be from hardware manufacturers to telcos to software integrators, for example. We have that network, and we also know how to talk to those clients. Okay. So we work with their entrepreneurs to help build a story, have a product that is enticing to an end user. So sometimes these innovators tend to be stuck in the clouds, and we try to help them find the light and find the way to the customer and to the revenues, because in the end it's a game of generating revenues.
Absolutely, all right. What would be your advice to, let's start with the innovators, when it comes to this region specifically?
Well, I would say don't hesitate to be kind of more, I wouldn't say global, but don't stay in your country. Get out, come to these type of forums, meet with the industrial companies from different parts of Asia.
Right.
I think that's very important to meet and see what other people are doing. Don't stick your head in the sand. That's my tip to everybody. Is we're in a global market. Asia is a huge market, so get out there. Go to China, go to Japan, go to Taiwan, go to Singapore, come to Thailand, Vietnam. All those countries have different maturities, and maybe that one technology is applicable in a certain market and maybe not in another. So coming to these kind of events is very useful for our innovators.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they understand where the market is for them.
Yeah, all right. It just gives them, I suppose, a holistic view, and you've got everyone under the same roof as well, isn't it? With it, like an event like this. What about your advice to utilities when it comes to innovation?
Well, some of them are a bit slower to innovate than others. I mean, we have more of a European perspective. Some of them are very, how do we say, they love technology. They're technophiles.
Yeah,
so what I would say is open your eyes. Don't be afraid to test technologies. Set up use cases where different technologies can come in and discuss. And really, a test bed is very, very important. So I would tell utilities, try to have, really push proof of concept and open innovation within your institutions. And don't be afraid to test.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's sound advice. Tell us about the investment fund, which is actually aimed at smart grids and smart industries. If you could just give us an outline of what that's all about.
So Truffle Capital is about 15 years old. We've been innovating for a long time. And so this fund, we're developing a fund with our partner, which is RTE, which is the Réseau de Transport Électrique in France, who's the TSO in France. So what we're doing is we want to come here and see what's happening, and also meet with other TSOs and distributing utilities, electricity utilities, to see kind of what they're doing and see if they want to jump into this fund, because we want to be a global fund that invests in early stage technologies, not only in Europe, but in the US and Asia. So today we're here to meet with potential partners for the future.
Fantastic. So quite far reaching, and
that
sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us at the session. And should you wish to get more insight from Asian Utility Week, please log on to ngirati.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much.